Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and as you can see that the Westfield Shamrocks were victorious because we're back here with Jake Gilbert, the head football coach of the Westfield Shamrock. Welcome, Coach.
Welcome, Perry. Glad to have another week.
Yeah, absolutely. And the victory against Carmel was a big one. I would say it was a program win for Westfield. Let's talk a little bit about that, because your defense, I mean, when you look at the stats here, quarter by quarter, you were getting touchdowns and they were getting field goals. So that defense really stepped up.
Yeah, I think a program win's accurate. I feel like we have only played Carmel probably 3 times in the modern era. Obviously, we'll probably play a lot more in the future, but I thought we'd never beat them. Someone said, well, you have back in 1956. I was like, well, that's been long enough. We'll just call it never. So we had, I know I had lost to them as a head coach a couple times, and they were better than us. And it was a tall mountain to climb, but we just have a lot of respect for them and Coach Gilbert and the discipline they play with. And so huge win. And I'm very proud of our kids. I just thought we played extremely hard, specifically on defense. You referenced the red zone. I think we were 4 for 4 in the red zone, and they were 0 for 4 in the red zone. Our defense held them to field goals, and that was probably the difference in the game. And we got tough and stingy down there defensively when we needed to. So very proud of the improvement of our defense on the year, which has clearly given us a chance. I'm not sure how many we've won in a row, but I think I know we're 7-3, but our defensive scoring has gone down about 5 games in a row. So we are improving. Having Dylan Thieneman back is a huge part of that improvement. Starting to play Michael Webster on defense a little bit. He's helping. All of that. We're just getting better.
Well, and of course, when you look at the stat sheet, the one thing about it, those seniors that have led this football team led it in that Carmel game too, and then of course Williams, the sophomore, also had 10 total tackles. Yeah. So big game for him.
Yeah, Charlie Dager, brilliant kid, excellent linebacker. Tyler Dykus, those 2 guys have been at it for a while for us, along with Dylan Thieneman. Those guys are great defenders. That next group is coming. Anthony Feltonelli at linebacker, Lennox Williams has been very productive for us as a sophomore. Obviously, William Goodvine, Colton Vondersar, some guys there. And I thought Jake Good played his best game, best couple weeks here at corner. So we're excited about who we have for the next year or 2, but just grateful for the leadership and the play of those seniors, for sure. They have been difference makers.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, you win, you move on, okay? So let's talk about your opponent that you got coming up this week in the Noblesville Millers, which you played in week 4, which was back in September 9th, which is a long time ago, I'd say about 7 weeks ago. But yeah. That was a tight ball game. But both teams are different.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Noblesville's won 2 games in a row. I thought they looked great against Zionsville. So certainly we understand we were, probably lucky to beat them. We beat them by 1 point. Very even football game, not a lot of defense being played, but 2 offenses that scored at will, it seemed like. And so we feel fortunate that we beat them. So they certainly have our respect. But I also know that our team's gotten a lot better since that week. So over the course of 7 weeks, we've really solidified who we're starting, who we're playing, the schemes we use, and our young guys have gotten a lot better in particular. So when you have a young football team, sometimes you just need a little bit of time to grow and mature, and we have done that this season. So I'm a lot more bullish on our team right now than I was when we played the last time.
What's really kind of interesting, the score 34-33, a very high-scoring game, okay, and no one stopped anybody. So, but this game could be a totally different football game because you know, they got a couple good linebackers in Kenyon and Hastings. Hastings has been good all season long. He's a great athlete. But Kenyon, the last 5 or 6 games, has really come on. Their secondary was really good last week against Zionsville. So this game may not be a shootout this time. And of course, your defense is playing a lot better. And that's the least amount of points Noblesville's gave up all year long, 10.
Yeah, I would expect this game to be a little more realistic.
Yeah,
like real football. I thought they played great defense last week.
Yeah.
And so you say 10 points, but 7 were scored at the very end.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right.
Realistically, they held Zionsville out of the end zone.
Yeah, the complete game.
The varsity did the whole time. We've improved, defensively. So I would not anticipate it'll be the same. I think it'll be more like a regular football game. But easier said than done. Sometimes you can stop that offense, sometimes you can't. If they get a beat on you, it's not a lot of adjustments and answers once they're blocking you. So we'll see how it goes. I do think both teams have improved. I know we have, and I know we've gotten a lot better on defense. So they pretty much embarrassed us last time. It'll be interesting to see if our guys have enough pride to step up and play some defense this time around.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking out time out of your busy schedule and doing this interview, and I wish you the best this weekend playing Noblesville, and I'm sure it's going to be a great football game.
Yeah, can't wait. So hope to see you again next week, Barry.
All right, same.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Go Rocks.